Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Am I the Arsehole mixed with relationships. You know how it is, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now today's first story comes from a deleted user who says, am I the arsehole for lashing out on my boyfriend after he insulted my parents because they kept asking about his divorced parents? And of course this does come with an update. So I, 20 female, met my boyfriend 20 male in high school, but we both started dating 9 months ago. He is a good guy, calm and rarely gets angry. His parents aren't the best. When he was a kid, they were always busy with work, so he used to be left with his grandma, and whenever they were together, they fought. When my boyfriend was 17, his mum caught his dad cheating. That's when the divorce was finalized. He doesn't like to talk about his parents. My parents, on the other hand, are happy together. So about 1 month ago, my boyfriend met my parents for the first time. My parents are the old school type. They think that divorce is selfish and it destroys relationships and your image in the society. So it went well until the topic of his divorced parents was brought up. My parents were surprised, so they kept asking more, like why did the divorce happen? How did he feel when the divorce happened? Why didn't he stop them, etc. Now I know this was wrong, so I tried to stop them from asking about his parents, but they didn't. At the end they said they want to meet my boyfriend's parents, only because they want to be more close with his family. He agreed after a lot of hesitation. A few days later, me, my parents, my boyfriend and his divorced parents were sitting together having dinner. The atmosphere was so tense that I already started regretting this. Halfway into the dinner and his parents started arguing, probably because some talk of divorce was brought up and they were busy blaming each other. My boyfriend looked visibly like he was about to lose it, so instead of saying anything, he just got up with me following him as I wanted to apologize. The minute I started apologizing to him, he lashed out on me with saying things like, you know the condition between my parents, right? Yet you didn't stop your parents from organizing all this, etc. I took all of the remarks he was throwing at me, but when he brought up my parents, your parents are just like you, nosy. Don't they understand that not all couples have a fairy tale story like them? Even in that first meet, they kept on asking me about my parents. Don't they have anything better to do than prying on others' lives? Can't they fucking stay out of my family's matters? Now, I knew he was mad at my parents and it was understandable, but talking like that about them was not acceptable for me. So I argued back by saying, don't speak like that about my parents. They just wanted to know more about their only daughter's boyfriend. It's not their fault that your parents' relationship is fucked up. And after like 15 minutes of arguing, he left along with his parents. It's been almost 2 weeks since me and my boyfriend talked with each other, and now I'm starting to question whether I was the wrong one. My parents say I did the right thing, but my friends say I went a bit overboard, and now I'm confused. I want to know whether I was really the one at fault. So Reddit, am I the arsehole? Edit, I would like to add that this guy is my first boyfriend ever, and I'm very open with my parents, i.e. they know everything about me, so they would obviously like to meet my first boyfriend and his family. I'm his first girlfriend too, and his parents also agreed for dinner. They said that they would love to meet their son's first girlfriend and her family. They hate each other, but not their son. So all people who think that my parents forced the other party to come, no they didn't. It was a mutual decision. I'm kind of surprised that the topic of divorce was brought up at all in this, and I think it was for them to push it, and the questions that they asked were incredibly inappropriate for especially like a first meet like this, and even at all if boyfriend never ever wanted to discuss it, that's up to him. It's none of, like you said, it's just none of their business. And the questions like why did the divorce happen, how did he feel when the divorce happened, why didn't he stop them? What the hell was that question? Why didn't he stop two adults from getting divorced? What was he meant to do in this situation? Rubber Band Ball Girl says you're the arsehole and so are your parents. It's nobody's fucking business as to why others get divorced. Your parents need to keep their noses out of others' business. You are setting yourself up for a series of failed relationships if you can't keep them at arm's length. Dusty Mother says you're the arsehole. Your parents are nosy as hell. Like wow, you need to get your head out your ass and stop acting like your family is so entitled and perfect. I wouldn't talk to you after that either. All usernames are says, yes OP, you're the arsehole. You didn't do enough to stop them. You should have just stopped the conversation. You weren't a good girlfriend. You knew he didn't like talking about his parents and you didn't even try to give your parents a heads up. Nothing. You shouldn't have agreed on the dinner. Your parents pressured your poor boyfriend into accepting from what it seems. And quotes, your parents are just like you, nosy. Then goes on to say, well, this is not related to the am I the arsehole, but I have to bring this line up. That seems like he's already done with a lot of your shit, and that your family is the tipping point. It's weird that he didn't tell you about how he felt about your nosiness. Your boyfriend deserves better. And one more from Samu who says, you're the arsehole, your parents went overboard with their questions about your boyfriend's parents the first time they met him, and you knew how your boyfriend was not comfortable with this. And I don't think you'll be hearing from your ex-boyfriend again. Now, let's move on to the update to find out what happened next. So the update says, hi everyone, it's been a week since I made that post and I've been recently getting messages asking me on what I did next, so here's an update. Since 2 weeks I was busy with college events, so I didn't get the time to call him. But after I made that post and read every comment, I started realizing how wrong I was. I felt horrible for not understanding myself that I was the wrong one. I decided that now I have to meet him to apologize, so I called and requested that I needed to see him. He just said okay. We met at a cafe that evening. When he arrived, he just had a blank face, which made me realize that things will never be the same for us. I apologized to him for everything, for not stopping my parents from asking questions about his parents, for letting them organize that dinner, for lashing out on him and for not apologizing earlier. Also, I felt like after this, his feelings for me must have changed, and as some of you said, I realized that I may not be the one for him and he deserved a better girl who could understand him more clearly. So I added that if now he hates me and wants to break up, then it's okay. He finally spoke and admitted that what I said did hurt him. He said that he didn't like talking about his parents, but didn't say that to my parents because he wanted them to have a good impression of him. He thought I would understand him, but I didn't. He also apologized for yelling at me. At the end, he confessed that he doesn't hate me, but the love he had for me has decreased, and that if we continue being together, it would only hurt me because I still loved him, but he wouldn't be able to return the same love back, and he didn't want that. To be honest, that sentence did hurt me because I still love him, and had a tiny hope that we would still be together. Sorry, I know this is selfish, but breaking up with him was the last thing I could do after all the pain he suffered because of me. So yep, we officially broke up. He said that we can still remain in contact, but I hope we don't. I also confronted my parents and told them that what they did was extremely insensitive, but they said that as parents it's their right to know everything about their child's partner, and that it's good we broke up because since he came from such a troubled family, they were worried the same would happen with me if we both got married. I was bewildered because I didn't expect my parents to think like that. I told them that if they continue this behavior, I would stop introducing anyone to them. They were angry but agreed. So yep, that's it. I also want to thank all the Redditors who were honest about how wrong my actions were. I'm truly thankful to all of you as it made me understand my fault and I will try my best to improve myself. I also hope that my now ex-boyfriend finds a girl who would understand him better and he stays happy. Thank you. And that ending there where OP talked about their parents and they said that they were angry but agreed to change their behavior. I can't see it changing in any way. The way this story was written and the way that they talk about their parents, I can't see them changing their behavior anytime soon. But how about you guys? What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Missing Ring, who asks, am I the arsehole for kicking my brother and his family out after his son stole my engagement ring? And again, comes with an update. The reason I, 26 male, know this is because I literally caught him in my room going through my things. And it's on freaking camera. My nephew is 9 and has a habit of stealing things. They've gotten into trouble a few times at stores because he'd leave with something in his pockets. But of course, because he's a kid, they usually just say he forgot he had it. Even at school, my brother has told me that they have had to come to talk to the principal on a couple of occasions. Doesn't seem like they've done anything to stop it. They had to come stay here with me because my brother lost his job and they weren't going to make it with all their bills, including rent. He's doing Uber right now while he searches for a job and they can move out. I didn't want to because of my nephew specifically, but family is family, I guess. A month ago, I finally bought an engagement ring for my girlfriend that I was planning on proposing to soon, but now I don't know. It's a 4K ring that I spent over a year saving up for. It's been hidden in my room under one of my drawers. One time when I found him snooping in my room, I told my brother to control his damn kid, then got one of those cheap spy cams in my room just in case. Then last week I noticed it was out of its box. After checking the cam, it showed he was in there again when I wasn't home. My brother and his wife have yelled at him. He says he left it by the TV in the guest room, but it's not there. They looked through all their stuff and his too. I know for a fact he's lying about not having it because that's the same thing he said about one of my watches he took then ended up finding it. By the second day, my brother tells me they can't find it at all, and I told him either they find the ring or he repays me 4K I spent on it. If not, they can't stay here anymore. My brother got really upset. He told me I know how their situation is right now, and yeah, it's a tough spot, but I couldn't ignore the fact that his kid he can't parent took something extremely important to me that cost a lot of time and money. They were given a week to leave my house if they don't find the ring. They're having to stay at a cheap motel, but my brother won't stop begging to come back because what they are paying right now each night is coming directly out of their savings. He won't stop calling me heartless about letting something like this come between helping them out through a difficult time, and my nephew keeps saying he's sorry. It's just hard right now to want them around. Don't even know what to do about the ring, and every time I think about it, it just makes me so mad that it's hard to care about their situation. Does that make me an arsehole? No. I can't blame you for this situation at all, and yes, it is a tough spot, but this person stole from you. Not anything small either, a $4,000 ring. And if the ring isn't there where it was left by the TV in the guest room and suddenly it's disappeared, where is the ring? Has it been sold? What's happened to it? It's not going to turn up suddenly, and sorry, I have little sympathy for that because I know if I was in OP's situation, I wouldn't be comfortable having these people in my house knowing stuff is going missing because of them. So we're going to start off with Von Stapp, who says, not the arsehole, they sold the ring. No Gear replies that saying, the thing with kleptomaniacs, they often don't know what to do with the things they steal. He may have washed it down the sink, flushed it down the toilet, buried it in the garden, etc. just to hide it. So it's not so much about having things, it's about taking them. It's highly unfortunate that he took something that's so important, and his parents definitely need to get him help and should have done so already, which could have prevented this. Cisa LJ says, if you have a recording, go to the cops. Your brother is clearly not willing to teach his brat that stealing 4K is a serious crime. Maybe the cops would do a better job. Do check the local pawn shops, you may find it there. If you do, they record transactions exactly for reasons like this, so you and the cops can see who pawned it. Do not let them into your house again, for any reason. Seeking Killer says, my theory is the parents are teaching this to the kid knowing it's not likely a 9-year-old will get in any serious trouble. Hard times make people do stupid shit, and pawning your brother's $4,000 ring is mighty stupid. OP, you should call around the local pawn shop to see if they bought a stolen ring lately. You'll have your answer and ring back pretty quickly. Lumpy Breakfast says, as a former pawn shop employee, you will likely need a police report. If it was pawned, it is sit in the safe for up to 2.5 months, depending on state/company policies. If no payment is made, if it was sold, it'll be about a month before it's on the sales floor. With a police report, they'll check all your local pawn shops with a matching description. If you suspect it might have been pawned, this is your best chance of finding it. New Auntie 26 says, not the arsehole, it's a terrible situation, but they should have taken measures sooner to get the kid to stop stealing. Also, I'm not sure a kid that young can do anything with a 4K ring. It's not like he can go to a pawn shop and sell it. Do you have homeowner's insurance? Perhaps you can make a claim. However, that may cause more problems. Is it possible that your sister-in-law or brother found and sold the ring themselves? OP replies saying he likes shiny stuff. He sold a kid's bag of marbles from school just because he liked how shiny they were. Don't necessarily steal things because he thinks he can make money off it. Damn, the kid sounds like a magpie. Anyway, with that information, let's move on to the update to find out what happened next. So many of you have asked non-stop for an update. Sorry it took me a while to log back on, but lots of stuff has been going on. Yes, I found the ring. It was a stressful day doing a deeper search in my house, trying to think like my nephew and looking in places where I think he'd hide something if he really didn't want it to be found. And the decision was, if it really wasn't found and my brother wasn't able to get him to talk, or they wouldn't be able to pay back what I'm owed, then the police would get involved. He did beg me not to, but I told him then you better pray I find it or come up with the money to pay me for it. Guess both of our prayers worked, because guess where I found it? In the freaking sink. The sink. And that's thanks to the comments who told me to look in those places. I don't know what I would have done otherwise. It was in the sink that was in their guest room. I'm glad he just didn't throw it away. You guys don't know how freaking relieved I was to find it. Took some work to remove the P-trap under the sink to get it out, but I was just so happy to find it. Same night my girlfriend, fiancée, got back and I proposed to her, and she said yes. After a nice romantic dinner, just the two of us at home. The plan was to wait, but after all this shit I thought fuck it, I'm proposing ASAP before anything else happens. After my brother heard about me finding the ring, he thought this meant they could come back. I said no. He wanted to argue about this again. All I told him was he's lucky I haven't gone to the cops, since there was already video evidence of his son taking the ring, and there's no way I'm letting them back in when my nephew wouldn't even say what he did with the ring. I talked with my nephew myself after I found the ring, but he just said he didn't want to tell anyone because then I'd be mad at him for hiding it. Honestly, I just don't have the energy for them anymore. His problem is their problem, and hopefully they get him the help before it's too late. Only thing important to me is my fiancé and I starting our lives, planning our wedding. Thank you Reddit for your help. Seriously, you guys were my lifesavers. Edit to add, I just received this news after already submitting my post for approval, and just wanted to add because I'm so happy. But my girlfriend also informed me she's pregnant. Holy moly, she found out while she was on her trip and was waiting for a good time to tell me. Not related to the post, but I don't care. I'm gonna be a dad. And there was one relevant comment on this that said, like the other commenter said, some people suggested looking in those places, and I didn't want to give up hope. With my tiny flashlight I was able to see if there was at least something down there. I didn't see the whole ring, but I still opened it up just to be sure. And then another response to another commenter said, well, I for one can't because, well, I'm not his parent. My brother has heard what I've had to say about my nephew's issues. It's gonna have to be up to him and his wife to step up for him and get help. There's not much else I can do anymore. They've been given the info for finding mental health services for low-income families. My fiancé has told him before they'd qualify for him to get Medicaid insurance if they really have no money to help him. It's on them if they want to go down that route to get help. I have my own family to focus on now, and them moving back just isn't going to happen. For his sake, I hope they do, otherwise it's not going to get any easier when he gets older, and there would be real consequences. One of my favourite things about reading Reddit stories and getting involved, especially in the comments as well, is the amount of different opinions and different viewpoints you get. You know, you had people that worked in pawn shops, people were saying, look in the sink, which seriously helped out OP in this situation. You just get so many people from so many different walks of life, so many different experiences that they've been through before. And like in this situation, it truly helps out others. And I think that's an absolutely wonderful thing. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? What would you have done in the original post if, you know, you found a family member, a young family member, 9-year-old, was stealing stuff and they were living with you like in this situation? Would you be able to kick them out? Is that something you'd be able to do, or would you do something different? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, as always, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support and time always means the absolute world to me. And don't forget, at the end of the video there's a couple of playlists there for you to click on, and it will scroll through all the videos for you if you want to get involved. So as always, whatever hobby you're up to right now whilst you're listening or just chilling out, let me know down in the comments what you're up to. It's one of my favorite things, listen to what you guys get up to whilst you're listening. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on. up. I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go. See the sun shining from the windows. Okay.